The new Spider-Noir show starring Nicolas Cage, which just was released on Amazon a few weeks ago, is probably one of, if not the greatest television shows in the last few years that I can think of. What's rockin' my rock and rollers? Today's video is going to be, like the intro said, discussing a television show that I wasn't originally planning on watching, but I started watching. I didn't watch reviews, but I started seeing like YouTube titles, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's good, it's incredible," and I'm like, "Well, you know, it's Nicolas Cage, it's Spider-Noir. Okay, I guess I'll check it out." So I waited a few weeks till I found time to watch it, and I was just over the past 2 days, and holy crap, this is awesome. Just short review, go watch it. It is incredible. All the reviews you've seen of people hyping it up, well deserved. This is an awesome show. So like I just said a little bit before, I wasn't really planning on watching this. I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan. I know Nicolas Cage voiced like Spider-Noir and like Into the Spider-Verse movies. I've only seen the first one years ago. I didn't see the second one, so I knew he was in it just from the popularity. So when it was announced that they were making a show with him, I was kind of like, whatever. But then I started seeing some set photos, here of I'm looking at, I'll pull them up on the screen here, but like he's on top of the car and like got the all black and Spider-Noir, and I was like, okay, that's pretty badass. Look at that. Okay, all right. Then some trailers started coming out. I didn't watch trailers. I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. And like I said, I saw some reviews hyping it up, decided to watch it, and yeah. Whew. So my general overall thoughts, this is going to be a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to go into too much detail on everything, because this is one of those series where it's best if you go in, I say if it's best, it's a little bit more fun if you go into it not really knowing anything and uncovering it for yourself. And I guess I should say, you do not have to be a Spider-Man fan or a Marvel fan to like the show. You can go in completely blind and be like, oh wow, this is a good show. So yeah, so the overall show, it's kind of short too. It's like 8 episodes. They're about 45 to 50 minutes each, but there's a lot that happens in every episode. It goes quick. There was never a part where it stalled for me. There was never a part where I was like, okay, I'm looking at my phone, like, hey, is this over yet? No, I was engaged the whole time. Part of that is how it was shot with the color grading, which we'll get into in a second. But let's go over cast performances real quick. So let's pull up the cast here. All right, so obviously got Nicolas Cage as Ben Reilly, the main character of Spider-Noir. He is, well, I should say, the whole show is set in like a kind of a alternate history, but a history like 1930s like Depression in New York. So I thought the setting was cool. That whole time period, I love. It's a Wonderful Life. That feel good kind of Americana. We don't get that much. We don't get a lot of that now. So for like a mainstream show to go back and portray that as kind of accurate. Granted, there's people with superpowers running around, but portray it as accurately as possible with the context of the story. I loved it. So Nicolas Cage plays Ben Reilly, who is the main character. Obviously, he's a private detective who people, hey, my spouse, I think my spouse is cheating on me. I think my boss might be stealing from me. Whatever. They hire him. Hey, can you find this person? Follow them. Oh yeah. So he does that, and he runs the firm with what's her name? With his secretary Janet, played by Karen Rodriguez. She was one of my standout characters. I really liked her. She was so funny. She's like the sassy kind of. Is she Mexican? Yeah, with the right. Yeah, she is like the sassy Latina kind of. She was fun, and so she's kind of like the partner, like I said, secretary to Ben Reilly. Sorry, and helping him out with his I guess missions, if you want to call them that. So, I can talk a bit about her. Nicolas Cage, obviously, it's Nicolas Cage. For how old is he? Let's look it up real quick. He is... obviously, it's Nicolas Cage. He's a legend, but he is 62. This was filmed last year. He'd be in his 60s when he made this. So, for being in his 60s, I mean, he's doing pretty good. I don't know if he did all of his own stunts. Some of the stunts in the wire work, I don't know if he could do, but it looked a lot. He was doing, like, at least the stuff when he's playing Ben, like, you know, getting thrown around. He did a really good job. So, and I mean, like I said, it's Nicolas Cage. He's an absolute legend. You cannot go wrong with him. 6 decades on this earth, he is still giving that caginess. So, for those of you wondering, you know, does the Cage aspect come out? You know, man, like stuff like that. There is scenes where that side of him comes out, and it works. It is so good. He has this, you know, the character Ben. He has this, you know, this suave charisma, sarcasm, but it's not like, who's a good example? It's not like a Sean Connery Bond charisma. It's more like, you know, that sarcastic, you know, wingman, like Jack Sparrow type charisma from Pirates of the Caribbean. He has that type. He's fast-witted, he's fast-tongued, he has that type, and it works. I don't want to say this is Nicolas Cage's best performance, because there's a lot, but this is definitely his best in, like, recent years. So, there's those two. There is, let's see, I'm going to mispronounce the name, Lamorne Morris as Robbie Robinson. He was the standout for me. I loved his character. He's like a reporter working at the Daily Bugle, who's like, he knows, and this is not spoiler, he knows, you know, Ben is Spider-Noir. That when the show starts, he already knows that, so they don't waste time, you know, establishing that. And so he's the one that takes pictures of Spider-Noir in action and runs the paper, and he was good. There was a couple of scenes where, given the, I don't want to say this, given the environment that, you know, our political sphere is in, where, like, you know, there's like a whites only sign, they could have made a big old scene about it, like, oh, I'm a black man, you know, this is racist. They don't do it. He just kind of goes, he's that type of character that he sees it, he goes, okay, that doesn't work, I'm gonna go over here, and he does his thing. He's in and out, he's professional. Oh man, I loved it. He is the standout character. So there's him. There's Lee Jung Lee as Felicia Hardy. She's kind of like this, I don't want to say, like the, what's a good word to have? Like the femme fatale, not damsel in distress, but like the femme fatale of like the old school noir, you know, type movies. You ever seen one of those, like, oh, she's likes this guy, she might be in love with this guy. She's the one that, like, kind of brings everyone together. She is good. I've never seen this actress before. Obviously, she's incredibly beautiful, and she's Asian, so I think Nicolas Cage had a hand in casting her, given his dating history, which I don't blame him. He's got good taste. The other characters, I don't want to spoil. They basically, I don't want to say this. They play on, like, Spider-Man villains, like different takes on them. So characters like, I don't want to spoil, like, you know, you see in the trailer, like there's an Electro type character. It's not Electro, it's someone else, but it's an electricity type character, something like that. And there's other heroes that pop up throughout the show. I think they were awesome. And but the one last character-wise we'll talk about is Brendan Gleeson as Silvermane. So he's kind of like the stereotypical, like, kingpin boss, who, like, the mob guy who, you know, rules over with an iron fist. He was awesome. I mean, it's Brendan Gleeson. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. But his character was awesome. He was just like this laid back. He doesn't, you know, yell. He snaps a few times and like yells, but most of the time he's like laid back. He's calculated. He's calm. It's just, when the scenes with him and Cage, just perfection. So now that I've gone through the characters and overall thoughts, the greatest thing about this whole show is how it looks. Obviously, a lot of pictures I've been showing in black and white, so they released 2 versions of this. I don't know which one they shot first. I don't know if they intended to shoot it in black and white originally and then decided to do a color, or vice versa, but the one I watched the black and white version. I think I don't want to say you have to watch in that version, but I will say it adds to the experience of, like, the old school classic noir feel. That's just my thoughts. And one thing, I did not know this going into it. So, like I said, there's 2 versions, and I thought, like, you watch, you know, and when you watch it, you go to watch an episode, it has, like, do you want to watch the color or the black and white version? So I thought, you just pick the black and white version, and then if you wanted to, you can also, you know, stop the episode, you know, like, once you finish it, go back, click on the color version, and watch that. you actually don't. So it's actually cool what they did. So you start an episode, you click, which one you want, and in the middle of the episode, you can change it mid-episode. So you can watch one scene in black and white. Oh, I want to see what this looks like in color. Watch the next scene in color. Oh, click, black and white. Watch the next scene in color in like mid-episode. It doesn't. There's a little bit of a delay, like a second delay with the scenes, but you could do that, which I thought that was super cool. There were so many scenes where I watched them. What does that look like in color? And I looked at them, like, oh my god, that looks so cool. And it's just, oh, it is so good. And the color things, and let's just say this, I'm getting ahead of myself, kind of confusing my thoughts. So the black and white, it's not your traditional black and white where they filmed it in color, they just slapped the black and white filter on, kind of like this video. No, like the way they filmed it, some of the scenes, you can see in the color shots here, they painted the sets like green and red and like different sort of colors. So when they inverted the colors and added the black and white, it doesn't look like your stereotypical black and white. It looks like some like stylized black and white, kind of like Sin City did back in like what 20 years ago. It did something kind of like that. The black and white scenes pop, like it is so good. Like, this shot of the lightning here, it's just, oh, it is so good. And on the flip side, the color scenes pop as well. You can see him in these photos here I keep showing. This is not like your stereotypical like, oh, like I call it Netflix lighting, this bland lighting that every single movie seems to have nowadays and show. It's always this bland lighting, no colors. This show has colors. I mean, you can see it here with the trailers and all the clips playing away. The colors pop. It actually looks fun, enticing. Like if this trailer is muted and you saw those clips, you'd be like, oh my god, this looks great, I have to watch this. Like, it just looks colorful. And the black and because it's colorful, when they do the black and white, this might be kind of weird to say, the black and white looks colorful as well, even though it's just black and white. It's just, oh man. And it's a great fucking show. Go watch it. And the one thing I also want to kind of praise the marketing team for is the posters. Look at these posters. I'll pull up some of them here. So we have this one of like there's a black and white version and a color version of this one where it's like Ben Riley up top, inverted is Noir. That's pretty cool. There's this one of him on the buildings. This one you can really see the color difference. So like the black and white on the left and the color on the right, and like both of these look great. Like, I watched the black and white version, but I will probably rewatch this in like the next coming weeks with the color on, just so I can experience it. And like, look, you see the red and the lights. It's so good. What's another one? Oh, this one was the teaser poster of like the glass with like the noir in the background. That's super cool. This one paying homage to Spider-Man 3 with like the symbiote poster. That's cool. This one was like an old school classic feeling, but this one's probably my favorite here. It's like the Nicolas Cage on the top. You have him as Ben Riley in the bottom with Noir's eyes. This one just looks like old school. Like, it just looks classic film noir, which is what they were going for. And oh man, like, like I said, I don't want to get into spoilers, but it's one of those shows where like it's better if you it's not better. It's more fun if you go into it blind. Just go watch it. Stop this video right here. Take what I had, into consideration. Go watch this movie. Go watch this show. You will not be disappointed.